Right, entirely Bally Ho. I'm with Phil480, and we are riding these. He's riding the Tiger XRT, which was my bike, but that's in orange. Mine was white. And I am finally riding the Trophy.
Just pull on it, or
No, you've got to undo some knobs.
oh, okay.
It's all right. We'll pull over further up, and I'll have a look at it.
Righto.
So yes, I'm on the Trophy SE, which is a 1200cc twin. It's the same one in the Explorer, shaft drive, etc. It looks really fat and wide, but from the front it looks really massive. However, when you get round, it's actually quite narrow and slim, especially when you sit on it. So it's a very nice bike. So this one's only done 13 miles. Better not break it. Heated grips, electric screen. Whee! Look at that. Whee! Oh, it goes quite high. Gosh. Very high indeed. Very good. Oh. Ugh. Bunk. Ooh! That's definitely got a throaty sound. Alright. Right, shall we?
Let's go. Oh, I didn't stall it.
You didn't stall it.
See, the bite on this is a lot. It's a lot lower than every other Triumph I've ridden. I was expecting it to be right at the top.
Yeah. Well, the indicators work anyway. That's good.
That's good. It's not a BMW.
These mirrors aren't bad actually. You can see quite a lot.
It might be a bit more to do with the wind noise coming off the screen, I reckon.
Well, you can make it higher if that helps.
Yeah. Do I just pull on it, or
No, you've got to undo some knobs.
oh, okay.
It's all right. We'll pull over further up, and I'll have a look at it.
Righto.
No problems. The thing is, I'm finding with this bike is that I'm riding it like a car because I feel a bit like I'm in a car. It's very odd. It's very nimble. Whee!
I wonder if I need to turn the volume up on my phone. That might help.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
might
sure
help.
I already set it to maximum, but
Yeah.
that was on music.
Whee! Whee! Right, we'll turn right at this roundabout, and then we'll pull over. Oh, he's gone.
Whee!
Right. Oh, it's as high as it'll go.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's as high as it goes, I'm afraid. Yeah, never mind. That's right, because I got the taller screen.
Ah, right, yeah.
Well, what we could do is, if you're worried about wind noise, we could lower it so it hits you lower down.
Because normally on Nakeds, the wind noise that I can hear in the helmet and stuff is actually a lot less. So
Yeah.
I think it is.
So it's to do with it all hitting you.
Yeah.
Right in the
So
face.
yeah, if we lower it.
Well, if we lower it, that might be better. Yeah, we lost.
yeah, mine's gone down to E. I can't operate that now. Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's a bit lower now. See how that works.
Yeah, see how we get on with that.
We can always stop and go again.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll try that again in a bit.
I'm trying to get used to the screen. So the main screen in the middle. Giggles.
It makes some noise. Fair enough.
It doesn't have the immediate oomph that other Triumphs have, but it isn't bad. I mean, it's a big bike. What was it? So this is the Triumph Trophy SE, brand new, done 13 miles, 15 miles now. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got liquid cooled 1200cc triple engine. We've got fuel gauge, engine temperature gauge, tyre pressure monitoring system. We've got on the left all your warning lights, full beam light, speedo, and on the right, tack, gear indicator, petrol light, and other warning lights. Left indicator light arrow is on the left, right indicator arrow is on the right, which I like because a lot of the times you just have a left and a right next to each other, or even say the same light, which I'm being picky, yes, but that's because this is the top of the range job, so it's I'm going to be picky. Got to remember I've got panniers on, you see. These interesting handlebars coming off the top yoke, but it brings the handles closer. That's quite nice, quite nice. Whee! And yes, electric screen, as you'd expect. It's got a stereo, which is on. Apparently it's heart. Haven't got a very good signal. I'm going to turn that down. I have no idea how to turn it off, so I'm just going to turn it down. Hideous shit. Anyway, so that came up in the middle of the screen. So obviously the middle screen is fairly versatile. We've got an outside air temperature of 19 degrees C, and apparently it is 20 to 7 in the evening, which it isn't. But yes, it's not a bad day at all. Where's screen is an electrically adjustable screen using this little helmet symbol here. It's very good, goes very high, very low, but I'm trying to keep the top lip out of my eye line, but also have the balance between that and wind deflection. So it isn't at its fullest. Its highest position is there. That's its highest position, but I'm actually now looking through it. But it is an anti-scratch screen, so it shouldn't be too difficult to be able to look through it most of the time. Yeah, it's nice, like very. I mean, look at that. That's flickable, and that's at 55 miles an hour. So it is a very flickable bike. It's 295 kilograms dry, which I reckon will be at least. Well, it's probably 320 kilograms fully loaded with oil and petrol, but that is with the panniers and the top box included. This one hasn't got the top box yet, so we're probably looking at around about 300 wet, 300 kilograms wet. There you go. So you got stereo, you got a little aerial there, looks pretty gay. I mean, looks pretty silly. These mirrors you manually manipulate, man does it, manipulate. So far I'm quite impressed. It hasn't got the zip of either the Explorer, which is 50 kilograms lighter, and it hasn't got obviously the zip of the 1050 engine that's in the Tiger Sport or Speed Triple. But it is look at that, it is surprisingly easy to flick around. Oh yeah, today, well, Phil decided to come up all the way from Littlehampton down on the south coast and come to my Triumph dealer because they're rather good and let us ride these bikes. It's very kind of them. Wind deflection, well, I seem to be getting a bit of backdraft, so obviously the wind's coming over the top and then curling around and hitting me in the back of my back, you know, shoulders and stuff. So actually it's the back of my neck that's getting a bit of buffet, but I'm not wearing my buff today, so I can feel it a bit more than I would normally. Mirrors are excellent. They're really, really good where they are. But it's a very, very comfortable place to be. My knees fit in these little hollows here very nicely. Where's the seat? I can sit right at the back like this, get a bit more legroom. It's a bit more of an armchair sort of feel. The seat itself is very bumpy, spongy, very nice. But I feel a bit like I'm a bit in a car really, because the dashboard is very, very car-like. Except you can do this, whereas if you started leaning like that in a car, something's very, very wrong. But it's thoroughly dull. There's no excitement about it at all. A very, very I mean, even look. I mean, the torque is shaft driven, so you've got that ease of use and practicality. Most shaft splines are guaranteed 60,000 miles, so that's a lot better than a chain and sprockets. And of course, you haven't got the daily maintenance of lubing it. Personally, I'd probably take it apart every 10,000 miles and grease it, or use whatever recommended lube there is. But otherwise, it's a very nice bike, but it's £14,500. You can get the fully loaded Explorer for that, which I think just with all the toys is a lot more capable. This has got a heated seat, but it doesn't have a heated pillion seat, of course. Just things like these bar end weights, they look massive. You do have adjustable levers, and you do have, oh, it's got seven adjustments on the front brake lever alone. That's pretty good. So quite fine adjustment there. Alright. Yeah, an awful lot of bother for not much power. Book says 132 brake horsepower, but you certainly can't feel it. Not that exciting, really. The Explorer bloody launches. Just from a performance point of view, I'd get the Explorer. The Explorer's got an electrically adjustable screen anyway. Even the BMW GS doesn't have that. However, this does have traction control, cornering traction control, cornering ABS, ABS. It has cruise control. It has an electronic throttle-by-wire system. But it just doesn't have any urgency. I was hoping that would be its saving grace. And it's a very stylish-looking bike. It looks very smart. And if you turned up to work on this, people would think, oh, he's a smart chap, he knows what he's doing, very business-like. But yeah, I wouldn't even use the radio. I mean, who wants to hear everyone else's music? Ah, dear. No one else wants to hear it. But leaning, look at this. Whee! I mean, but that was full throttle, and it just... There's nothing there. I mean, it's almost as if the torque's lacking. It's got 120 newton meters of torque at 4,500 revs. I believe that's about 85 foot-pounds of torque, but you just can't feel it. Where is it? I mean, maybe the engine needs running in. Maybe that's the problem. But it's not very quick revving either. I mean, obviously, being a 1200, it's got a longer stroke and all that, but what's this person doing? Okay, reading a map. Lovely.
I think we're near to the usual place where Captain pulls over for a walk around.
Let's try these bumps. See, these bumps are a bit... Yeah, the Explorer's much better along here. Oh, that's quite hard. I mean, through my bottom, that's as hard as my Thruxton, and maybe the speed triple. Through my hands, it's nothing, because obviously I haven't got any weight on my hands, really. So my wrists are fine, but I'd expected better. The Explorer just floats over this stuff. Interesting Triumph. I mean, maybe it needs setting up. Has it got electronically adjustable suspension, I wonder? Yes, it has. Alright, let's try a different mode then. Let's have some fun. Yeah, if anything, there's more noise than oomph, which I'm quite surprised about. So it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame. I'm going to look up how to change modes, I think.
Ah, this is it. Oh, mind them panniers, sir.
Whoa.
There. Nicely done, nicely done. Didn't nearly just drop it then.
Is there a mode button? So it says normal on it. Right, so here we go, walk around time. So we've got the screen here. And that all looks very nice. The brakes are the Triumph ones. WP electrical suspension. The radiator is hidden behind there. And it's alright, really. I mean, it's very handsome. Just doesn't go very well. So, shaft driven, you've got a centre stand as well. And you've got these panniers. So what you can do is you can open them. Now when you open them, make sure you've got this strap here attached, otherwise it opens and falls onto the ground and scratches the top here like I just did on the other side. But each side can hold a full face helmet, and you can detach it by turning the key even further and then lifting the handle and pulling off, and you can carry these around with you. Not bad. So there's the exhaust pipe. As always, I'd recommend getting the Arrow. And it has got, hidden in there, a single-sided swing arm. And shaft drive. Shaft. So, that's the little scratch I just made by opening this box onto the ground because the cord inside wasn't there. So yeah, you got shaft drive, you got these bar end weights. I have worked out how to change the settings. Now it's all a bit complicated. So what you do, what's pretty groovy is, look, when you turn the ignition on, the screen goes to position, but also this little cubby hole here unlocks, and in there is a 12-volt port and a USB port. Also, the radio is Bluetooth, so you can use it for hands-free, but also play music through that, or just put an iPod in there, and that cubby hole locks as soon as you turn it off. Now, I've now put the suspension in comfort mode. As you can see, now how you do that is you hold the info button in until you get settings. Profile 1, Profile 2. And what you can do with these, let's choose Profile 2, because you're using Profile 1 for myself. You can load what's in it, or you can edit it. So, suspension mode, normal, comfort, sport, normal. Loading, so this, you can tell the suspension whether it's one rider and luggage, 2 riders, or nothing. Yeah? So that's good there. And then you can go to traction control mode. Traction control on or off. So that, you can turn it off if you want to. But what I've done in Profile 1 is I've put the throttle mode onto sport, and I've done the suspension in comfort, so we'll see what happens there. Oh dear. So you've got tyre pressure monitoring as mentioned on the ride. You've got electronic suspension. You've got cornering traction control, cornering ABS. It's just a bit gutless. But the mirrors are excellent, got to say that. And the screen is excellent, does its job. Riding position, very, very comfortable. So if you're in the market for one of these, then yeah, why not? And you can get the top box as well, so you can carry all sorts of stuff on it. And the lighting is very, very good too. So yeah, just have to see what you think. So yes, I've set it up the way I want it. And we'll see how we get on from there. Because hopefully the suspension will ride better than when it did earlier in normal mode. But it's a fairly handsome beast. And if you're in the market for this sort of bike, it's alright. It just doesn't have the performance I wanted. Oh well, I'll get back to you later. Bye! Now that lady's gone, I'm going to do some revving. Right, here we go. It's just muted. Oh well. Right, enjoy! Haha! You didn't see that? Oh yeah, this is very comfortable. I have no problems with this bike. How's Monkey doing? So have we got hazard lights? Yes. There we go, look, got hazard lights and everything. I like the position of the indicators on the cowling here. I mean, it's all very nicely laid out. It's just a bit dull. The finish of everything's excellent. I mean, look at this sort of brushed look, but it's all bloody excellent. No, it's a nice bike. Let's see how Phil's doing. But yeah, it's very, very comfy. I love this seat. Woohoo!
I saw him bounce off that. He's gone.
So in first it does 60. It just took forever to get there, didn't it? But it does feel very light, I'll give it that. And I'm doing, good God. So it got to 100 quite quickly. So it does hustle. Maybe it's the gearing, that's why it doesn't have that oomph. Okay, in comfort mode, the suspension is very good. It's kind of what you expect from a bike like this. In normal mode, it couldn't do much with the bumps. It wasn't really soaking them up. Now it just glides. That's very nice indeed. A very pleasant place to be. So yeah, the comfort setting on that work. Now, I wonder if we can change the suspension sort of mode on the hoof, as it were. Let's have a look. Yes. But yes, you can change it on the hoof. That's very good. Stand up. Ooh.
Standing up like the master.
Da, 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 da. It's a brand new bike, but it's an old design. It needs upgrading. It needs being made lighter. The engine needs work. It needs to have some punch to it. I mean, that is second gear. It does have punch, but not what I'd expect from a 132 brake horsepower. Especially a triple engine as well. Triple engines have a beautiful torque punch, whereas this just seems to be struggling. Anyway, there we go, Dunstable Downs. Okay, let's go back into comfort mode. See if I notice any differences. TES mode. Now this is comfort mode. This is a very bumpy bit of road, and it's bouncing, but it's nice and smooth. It's good. Okay. Anyway, when we were up on Ivanhoe Beacon where we were parked, this lady came over. She must have been in her 60s. I said, "You do know there's a car park?" And I said, "Yes, there is a car park." "Well, you could have parked there." I said, yes, we could. And then I lied, and I said, "Well, being a member of the National Trust, I wrote to the National Trust and asked if we could do some filming of our motorbikes and do a review here." And she said, Oh, well, I'm not a member, so that's all right then." I was like, fuck me, woman. Get off your middle-class high horse. I was so tempted to say, fuck off, none of your business, but I'm just not that person. I'm too polite. And yeah, it was a funny moment where Phil and I just exchanged exasperated glances. But yeah, what a silly woman. So yeah, comfort mode. Yeah, I like this. Whee! It's alright. Let's have some music, shall we?
What's he doing? He's got the radio on. And the radio is stuck on Heart FM, I think. Can you hear that?
Am I getting this totally wrong? Am I meant to be going on a high gear and just... So there's fourth, 2,500 revs. There's a nice little punch there. have I got this bike wrong? Was I revving it? It's got a lovely wallow with comfort suspension that you can predict, but it doesn't. Now we're going over quite a bumpy bit of road again. But yeah, it's nice. I like it. Right, okay, bumpy road, really bumpy road. Comfort suspension. It's all right, but I think the Explorer and Tiger Sport are better. I really do, especially the Explorer. But it's got the newer version of everything the Explorer has. This hasn't been updated properly yet. I reckon next year they'll do it. You know, they'll do an Explorer on it and make it suspension better, throttle response better, engine better. The new Tigers and the Speed Triple have had over 104 changes to the engine from the crank up. Different piston heads, different cylinder heads, the whole lot. Different valve ports, blah, blah, blah. This hasn't had that, so this is kind of the old 1200, so it's just a bit lackluster. But it's still got everything you'd want. It's just a bit... See how it does in here.
He's left his indicator on.
Not bad. And it's light enough for you to be able to stand it up in the corner with your body like that. That's alright. It's nimble. I like it. But yeah, the self-cancelling indicators, that means that it hasn't been updated. You haven't got the mode buttons or anything like that. It just needs a bit of an overhaul. It could be 50% better. Really could. But no, this does hustle. It's all right. It hasn't got the punch of the newer bikes, but it handles beautifully. And that's lovely. But yeah, it doesn't flick my switch. But I suppose if it's your, I personally, if I was in the market for a bike like this, I would wait until they update it, and because they did a big update a year and a half, 2 years ago, where the SE model became the main model. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do. Obviously next year they're bringing out the 800 triples for the Street Triple and the Daytona. That's the rumour going around for next year, but it seems to be fact. Because they no longer need the 675 for sports racing, they're doing something else. All they've done is they've used the Explorer, wet clutch and brake reservoirs. And look, you've got the mirrors on the bodywork here, but they've left the bloody brackets for the wing mirrors that are on the Explorer. They haven't made bespoke things for this actual bike. The Trophy SE is meant to be the top of the range bike. It's nearly 15 grand standard without other stuff like heated seats and shiz. So why on earth are they using bits off other bikes? Make it special, Triumph, and I think that's what they'll do. Could do with the quick shifter, of course. It's just lazy, because that's the thing, if you're touring, most of the time you probably cruise control 70 miles an hour, but Honda have got a sort of automatic gearbox, BMW have the quick shifter up and down, they call it something else. So really, just for laziness, ease of use, comfort, they need it on this, their Tourer. And I'll say why, because when you're touring or commuting, riding a motorbike is more tiring than driving a car. However, these bikes are meant to be as comfortable, chilled out as driving a car, but you still get the motorcycling experience. But that means you have to make, because you're concentrating so much, your brain is using a lot of energy, but your body, yes, you lean into corners and stuff, and when I'm holding onto my Thruxton, that's what's so knackering. But really, you need all the gadgets you can just to make your life easier when you're touring. And that's what they need to do to this. They just need to put every sodding gadget on it, up to date, in line with the other guys. They can't rely on being Triumph, good quality. They need all the top gadgets like all the other companies have got. I want to ride a 1200 GS, and I need to. I need a couple of days at BMW and try about 3 or 4 of their bikes. Have a whale of a time, do lots of reviews.
But I have an inkling from what I've read and what I've seen of everyone else's reviews of the BMW GS and all that kind of stuff. They are ahead of this in power, performance, comfort and gadgets. And yes, we've got an electric screen, we've got a radio, but I've got that in my helmet. I've got a radio in my helmet. You don't need that stuff anymore because it all comes in your helmet. I've got Bluetooth in my helmet, I can listen to my music in my helmet, I can answer calls in my helmet. I don't need the Bluetooth on here anymore. Time to rethink the technology, chaps, I think. But if you want to buy a second-hand one of these that's a year old, save £3,000 or £4,000, they're an excellent bike. It will do what you want it to do. But you'll want a bit more. Now, the more I ride this, it accelerates nicely, it's smooth, it does hustle, it handles beautifully. I think I was probably being a bit unfair to say it lacked oomph, because if you pull away from a roundabout nicely, you can then stick it in a good gear and just cruise. Now, maybe that's the thing. It can hustle if you want it to, a certain amount, but don't expect massive performance. But when you want it to just be a bike and do its thing, and don't forget I've got panniers on. I suppose it's only when you go to overtake that it's a bit annoying that it seems to lack a punch. But I suppose it's in sixth gear at 80 miles an hour, it'll be fine. And that was a fourth gear roll on at 50 miles an hour, so I could have changed down and just gunned it, and it would have coped. And I suppose being shaft driven, it makes it just a get on and ride kind of bike. Very low maintenance. Be interesting to see how long the tyres last with the extra weight. But it pulls along like a car, 3,000 revs, 60 miles an hour. There's a bit of pull there. So I suppose it's a relaxing ride, and isn't that the point? What I was saying earlier about arriving fresh and not knackered. So maybe that's the thing, maybe that's the balance, maybe that's what I lose. I lose the punch of the performance to gain a more relaxed, chilled out ride. But because that's the thing, I always, for me, a relaxed, chilled out ride is jump on a Thunderbird Storm and gun it everywhere. And it apparently does 53 miles to the gallon at 75 miles an hour. It's the older engine, so I'd probably tend to disagree with that. That's probably best figures. Why can't it have a sat-nav integrated? There's a question. Got that screen, you've got the dials. Why can't you have a sat-nav integrated? Yeah. Why not? Why not indeed?